lifelong best friends. Take turns picking topics, then they see where it ends. So wild, it's weird, and sometimes specific. Whatever it is, you know it will be terrific. It's hyperfixation time.
All right. Welcome to Hyperfixation Time. I'm Erin.
And I'm Danny.
And this is the podcast where we take turns deep diving into something that we are interested in that's completely random. It's usually topics that are weird or wild or just kind of random, and the other person doesn't know what the topic is going to be for that week. So this week is Danny's week. Nothing's off limits. So I believe you said last time it may be a location. Is that right?
I believe my clue to you was that I would take us like around the world a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, if you see the title of this video, you already know where this is going, but
yeah, exactly.
But Erin doesn't.
I don't know right now.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention is that me and you have both put in a lot of work on the podcast over the last week, and like you apparently got it so that now our podcast is on all the platforms. Is that correct?
I think so. It's everything that Spotify creator allows. So everything should be there. And actually tomorrow is the test. So when that episode goes out, I'm hoping it all
on
worked
all the platforms. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got to see.
If you prefer a different platform, I don't know what else there is, but apparently people use other things. Oh, Amazon, that makes sense.
Amazon's one big one. Yeah, there's a couple
that seems like
more,
a pretty big one. That makes sense. Totally. So yeah, share us with, other people that listen on different platforms as well. And then also, if you're watching the video of this, you will have seen the intro song video that I made. Spent some time on that, so I hope you all enjoy if you're watching the video form. I think that's only on YouTube now, right?
Yes, I believe so. But thank you so much for doing that. That was so awesome. I sent it to my sisters and they were like, this is epic. I can't, like, so cool that you guys have this. And yeah.
Well, thanks, Erin's sisters.
I think things are just starting. Yeah, we did a ton of work, like you said. So
yeah, that was pretty much
I appreciate
all my updates. Oh, we have a Facebook page now too. So go ahead and like us there.
Find us on Facebook as well. Thank you, Danny, for setting that up. My dad is always the first to like every post or picture, which I appreciate. So thanks, Dad.
I love it.
Well, I had that funny story. Well, it's not funny.
Okay.
It's
weird?
No, like it's funny only because it turned out being okay, like everything's fine, but it could have been bad.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, so we were going to PJ's parents for just like a get together for Christmas kind of thing. Just planned like a couple hours to drive down to where they live, and they were making some prime rib, and I don't really eat red meat if I can avoid it for the most part, and I'm not a huge fan of prime rib anyway. So I was like, okay, great. That's awesome. And I will also make like a salmon dish was my plan. So I was making said salmon dish. And I was like, well, okay, the salmon's done, but I think I really want to get like a crispy layer on the top of it. And so I put some olive oil in a pan, turned it up and all of that. And then I was like, oh, some olive juice would be, or not. Oh my God, I cannot talk tonight. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Some lemon juice would be great for this because I love salmon and lemon juice. Like, honestly, I'm like minimalist
delicious
when it comes to salmon. Yeah. Like olive oil, salt, pepper, and lemon juice. So I put some lemon juice in the pan as well. And the whole thing went up in flames.
All right. Good job. That sounds scary.
It was very scary. We have like a microwave above our stovetop, and it went even past that.
Oh God. Okay.
Very big. I think based on my research, I think that the oil was too hot when I added the cold lemon juice.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I learned that because you can cook with the two together.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. So It completely torched our control panel of our microwave above.
Wasn't there something with that already?
Yes, we had already bought a replacement because I had not for the same reason, but like just since there's a burner underneath the control panel, like I didn't realize that it affected that so much, and now I know. But it just kind of like shorted the control panel. I think like within a year of when we moved in, and then so now I did it again.
Whoops. But okay, my questions.
Yeah.
1, like you were fine, like you. I mean, obviously, like so what? It was just, I don't know, like you just weren't in the line of it.
Yeah, so you don't really know how you're going to react in those situations. I learned. Because I'm totally fine, and that's lucky. And there's, besides that control panel, that's the only thing that is damaged. Like I'm really lucky that our cabinets, we have like papers above our cabinets, inside. And I grabbed the pan, which it had like a, you can't get burned kind of handle. Pulled it off and turned down the stove at the same time. Okay. And then it went away. So honestly, this whole thing
went down, basically?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what my other question was.
Yes, it went down. So honestly, this whole thing took a span of like 5 seconds, in general. But in the moment, I learned how I apparently scream when something like this happens, which is just like, instead of like a, high pitch, I don't know, girly scream, it's Pidge. So I was yelling Pidge like this for some reason, and he didn't hear me. Oh. My dogs barked when I did that, but nobody got his attention, I guess. But he tried, like he said he pulled his headphones off, and then was like, I didn't hear anything after that. I'm like, yeah, because it was a span of 5 seconds. I don't blame him, obviously, but almost started my whole kitchen on fire. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad it all worked out. Yeah, very lucky. Nothing got like severely burned.
That would have been so shocking. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, what do you do in that moment? So I guess a word of caution. If your olive oil is too hot, do not add cold lemon juice.
Okay.
and if somebody lets me know that it actually is that combination, then yeah, I'll take that too.
Cool.
That's it. Almost started my kitchen on fire, but the meal was delicious.
Nice. That's good.
It was so good. And I'm mad because not enough people got to enjoy it.
I know you texted me about the salmon, and so I was like, well, I know you couldn't have fucked it up too bad because like,
no, because I hadn't put the salmon. Yeah, I hadn't put the salmon in the pan at that point. I just had the olive oil going to get it hot so I can like sear the top of it or make it crispy. Yep.
That's funny.
That's my story.
I enjoyed it. Thank you. Do you want to talk about your microfixation first or second?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. Mine is the podcast called Beth's Dead.
Okay.
Have you heard of
Sorry,
this?
I thought you were going to be like our podcast.
And our podcast as well. It's
Beth's
always
Dead. No, I haven't heard of that.
Dead.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm interrupting you so much today already.
I need to do spaces in between what I'm saying for sure. So it's not just you. But no, Beth's Dead is a podcast that is done by Monica Padman, who is of Armchair Expert and a few other podcasts. And I binged the whole thing today.
Oh.
So it's really interesting. I don't think I agree with the outcome of like that whole situation, but
okay.
But I still recommend it.
Do you want to give like a summary of what it is?
It's hard because there's a twist to it. So
okay, well, I mean, like, can you just what even is it? Is this a true story? Is it like a fictional tale? What are we talking about here?
It's a true story.
Okay.
And it has to do with parasocial relationships.
Okay.
So cool. I'll leave it, I think, at that. But it was very interesting.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I sent it to my mom too, but all right. What is your micro fixation?
I have been totally fixated on playing with my son's Christmas toys.
Which ones?
So a few. Do you remember what like a spirograph toy is by chance?
Like the drawing, like you take a pen.
So
It kind of guides you into like a shape or something like that, or into whatever you want, depending on what it looks like.
yeah,
Oh,
basically you put like a marker or whatever into like a hole, and then you
yes.
like follow this circle guide thing, like you said, and then it creates like a spiral. And
Yes.
it, depending on like which shape you use or like which size you use, which hole you use, like they come out different. So here, if you're watching the video, you can see my little spirograph examples.
Oh, they're like mandalas.
Yeah.
I love it.
Literally, Leon loves it, but so do I. And then the last one, and the most fun for me, even more fun than the spirograph, has
Whoa, I didn't
been
think it could get funner.
I know, has been the Astrobot game for the PS5. Oh
Oh,
my
yes.
god, that game is so much fun. It's just pure fun. That is the whole game.
Is it? And he
I
can play
highly
it like
recommend it.
just
Yeah, we've been playing
fine.
it together, so
Mm,
we've been having a really good time with that.
that's awesome. I love that
Mhm.
he's just like a little gamer too. I love
know.
it. I mean, not that I expected anything different.
Right?
That's so fun. I had a friend who's playing Astrobot as well.
I recommend it to anyone. Like, it's so fun. Is it main topic time?
Main topic time.
All right. Do you feel like taking a gander at a topic?
A gander or a guess?
A gander. That is a guess. I feel like
I'm
taking
pretty
a
sure
gander.
gander's like, I think a gander is when you look at something. Like taking
No.
specifically.
I'm going to look this up.
Laundry machine, gander.
I'm like so
What does
confused
it
right
say?
now. No, like it says that you're right. I guess in my head it was like take a try. Like
That makes sense. I can see that. It's pretty close.
I'm like confusing my whole life again.
I'm so sorry.
No, and
I
it's
don't mean
weird
to-
because after the whole like washing machine debacle, I think I call it a washing machine. That's like what I've been saying naturally, like without thinking about it. You know?
that
And
and
I
that
don't
makes
know, it's
sense.
just I mess up my words sometimes.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't mean to like call you out on it either.
No,
just,
it's fine. I don't like being wrong. Not in
Okay.
the like in the way that like I don't want to like I would rather you tell me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to
Okay,
be like
good.
out here looking stupid. So
That you don't look stupid either way. There's no reason. But it's very close to a
gander
guess.
at that.
Take a look or a glance is what gander means.
Like the thing is, like I think I know that, but I just feel like I just said it in a
Like
weird
used
way.
it in that context, I guess.
Whatever. Moving on.
Well, real quick, it's also a male goose. That's all
Yes.
I have to say. A gander is a male goose. Okay, I have nothing.
That's totally fair. You're not gonna
Around-
guess it. I don't know.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm ready to
Ready to hear it?
hear it. Yes, please.
Okay. Well, today we're going to be talking about the new 7 wonders of the world list.
That's a thing?
That's a thing.
Wow.
We're
I
gonna,
didn't
We're going
realize.
to get into it. So, I guess when you hear wonders of the world, what do you think of? Like, do you know any of the wonders? This is kind of a trick question also. So, I'll get into that. But
Isn't there like a garden? Are the pyramids part of it? Or
that
the
is
Sphinx or something? One of those?
Yeah. This tells me that you're going to learn a lot today, I think.
Yes. I'm excited.
So the pyramid is actually one of the ancient 7 wonders of the world. That is one of the OGs, and it's the only ancient wonder of the world that's still standing.
Oh,
All the other 6 don't exist anymore.
really?
Yep.
Wow.
They are ancient. This original list, and I'll kind of get into this, was made in ancient Greece.
So then there's ancient world and then there's like a modern. Is it just 2 then? Like 2 separate lists?
So there are a few, kind of. It's generally 3 different lists, okay?
Okay.
So when you
Mhm.
hear wonder of the world, you're either thinking of one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world, one of the new
Mhm.
7 wonders of the world, which we're going to talk about today, or one of the natural wonders of the world. The 7 natural.
Oh.
So the first
Okay.
2 that I mentioned, the ancient and the new ones, those are all these are all man-made wonders, essentially.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's also the
Yep.
natural wonders. So originally I was like, oh, let me just talk about all 3 of those lists today. And then I was like, very quickly was like, I'm just so silly. There's no way. I'm already struggling with one of these lists to talk about it in an hour time span. You know what I mean?
Yeah, too much
Yeah.
to commit to. Yeah, that's fair.
But let me first start by just explaining like why this is an interest of mine. So it was 2019. I went to the Grand Canyon with my now husband. That is where he proposed to me.
That's
And
right.
it was just one of those experiences where you're just in awe. I mean, it's like obviously one of the things people always say about the Grand Canyon is it's just so big and you just can't tell unless you're there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so yeah, it's just kind of, it definitely made us feel in awe. And I knew like, oh, that's one of the wonders of the world, you know? And so like, I want to go to all the other wonders of the world.
It really is.
It's
That's
one of the
wonders?
natural wonders. Yep.
The natural. Okay. But it's man-made, isn't it?
The Grand Canyon?
Oh, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the Hoover Dam. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, you're like, wow, what a romantic proposal at the Hoover Dam.
Hey, I've heard that it does also bring people to
but
a state
damn,
of
that's
awe.
funny.
Damn, did you mean to throw that in there? Damn,
No.
that's funny. Okay,
The Grand Canyon.
Yes. Okay,
Makes
now
a little bit more sense now.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, this is what
Maybe
happens when me and Erin make this podcast too late at night.
Yep.
Anyways.
I'm out of it.
So it's one of the natural wonders of the world. But at the time, like I just had it in my head, you know, it's one of the wonders of the world because that's just a term that people kind of throw around. Like we're saying, like people don't know these official lists, right?
Right.
And it really made me and Dwight basically want to visit all the wonders of the world. And so that was when I like kind of looked into this a little bit more and kind of got some of this knowledge that I'm going to be talking about today. But I am also just a huge stickler for lists. I am obsessed with lists all the time. It's like, I'm going to do all of the things on this list. And so in my head, I go, oh, I have to go to all the wonders of the world. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, when I looked into the list a little bit more, the Grand Canyon is a natural wonder. And there's the 3 different lists. And I will, I think, eventually talk about the other 2 lists in future episodes. So I do think that this is going to be like a 3-part episode eventually. I'm not doing it consecutively
back to back
for my episodes anyways. But so yeah, let's get into the new 7 wonders of the world. Each of these easily could have their own episode in and of itself. So bear with me that these descriptions are going to be brief and not going to cover all the history. And I know that there's more that I could be saying about them, if that makes sense.
Reminder again, we are not experts, nor do we try to be. But like last week when I did my New Year's things, it's like there's so much more I could get into, but you have to
limit it somewhere.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm ready.
So we're going to do that. And then after that, I will talk about like the creation of these lists, which is just a lot more interesting than you would think it would be.
Really? Okay.
I think anyways. List nerd over here. Okay. So these aren't in any order, but we're going to start with the Great Wall of China is one of them. So this is the longest human-made structure in the world. It's the only work built by humans that you can see from the moon. I've seen a few disputes on how long it is, but there's the UNESCO Heritage website said that it has a total length of more than 20,000 kilometers, which would be 12,427 miles. And it goes from like northern China all the way through southern Mongolia. It was built 220 BC, so long ago. Wow. Sections of earlier fortifications were joined together to form a united defense system against invasions from the north. And this is the craziest thing to me. The construction of it took over 2 millennia.
Seriously?
2,000 years. Seriously.
Like in pieces, obviously, like just kind of over time. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense for how big it is.
Yeah.
If it's that big and taxes and all that probably goes into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy.
I just keep picturing the movie Mulan.
Okay, there you go. Let me know all your movie references to all of these because there's a few.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so the next one on the list is Christ the Redeemer statue, which is in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. That
Yep.
is the giant statue of Jesus that basically towers over the entire city. Construction of this began in 1926 and took 5 years to build, which feels
Mm.
a lot less impressive after hearing the Great Wall of China.
2 millennia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he like this? Like he's like holding his arms out or something?
Yeah, like I'd say
Is
like
that right?
more
Or is
out
it more
even.
up?
Like
Okay.
pretty much like straight out across.
Like a hug.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he stands on the peak of Mount Corcovado, and he stands 2,300 feet above the city. He is 98 feet tall from head to toe, plus another 26 feet for basically just the pedestal part of it. And his like arms reaching out, like you said, is 92 feet long.
Whoa.
He is the largest Art Deco sculpture in the world and made of reinforced concrete. I don't know that you've been to any of these. Like, I don't think you have, but I don't know all your travels, so let me know, of course, if you've been to any of these as we're going.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but I've seen pictures of it, and I feel like it's one of those things as well that you just can't fathom how big it is until you're there.
True.
But it feels like welcoming. Did you get into like the history of
like why that one was built? Or like why he's hugging out?
Why? Yeah, don't you think it feels welcoming a little bit? Like
I find it creepy, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of like big statues like that. They kind of creep me out. There's like a term for that, like megalophobia or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that
so
makes sense.
It gives me the creeps a little bit. So I've never thought it. I've never looked at it and been like, wow, that's so welcoming.
So we need to move on. No, just kidding.
No, it's fine.
Danny's getting triggered.
I could easily go into the depth of these a lot more, but I didn't really look into those questions there.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's all good.
All right.
I just was curious.
No worries. So the next one is Machu Picchu, which is nestled in the Andes Mountains in Peru. It's the lost city of the Incas, and it was mysteriously abandoned around the 15th century. Its purpose is very mysterious. Like there's just not a lot known about Machu Picchu that they can confirm. One of the possible purposes was that it was called the Virgins of the Sun, which would be for convent women that took a vow of chastity.
Like nuns that are agreeing to not have sex.
Yeah,
right?
The Virgins of the Sun. It was possibly a pilgrimage site, or it was possibly a royal retreat.
Oh,
I don't know.
So what that made me think of was El Dorado. And I don't know if that's a real thing.
You're getting ahead of yourself, okay? Don't even get there yet.
The City of Gold?
Machu Picchu is one of the only pre-Columbian ruins nearly intact still.
Nearly.
Machu Picchu, I feel like personally connected to, even though I've never been there. And the reason why is because when Dwight and I, after we went to the Grand Canyon and then we got engaged and we got married in 2020, our original plans were to go to Machu Picchu for our honeymoon. So I did plan an entire trip to Peru that was never used. So I kind of feel like I've been there just because I did so much research like on Peru and all of that someday. Okay. So the next one is Chichen Itza. It's located in the jungles of Mexico at the tip of the Yucatan Peninsula. It's an abandoned ancient Mayan city. This is why I was saying you're getting ahead of yourself with your El Dorado thoughts. So more about Chichen Itza. It flourished in the 9th and 10th centuries. And basically when people think of Chichen Itza, they're thinking of that pyramid that's called El Castillo, which means the castle. But Chichen Itza is actually like the whole city. Okay. And so there's more like ruins and other interesting sites there than just this pyramid. But the pyramid is really cool. It towers 79 feet above the main plaza. And the Mayan culture was very aware of astronomy. So the pyramid has 365 steps for each day of the year. And this is so cool. On the spring and autumnal equinox, the setting sun casts a shadow on the pyramid that looks like a snake slithering down the north stairway. And then there's like a stone snake at the base. So like it looks like the head, and then the shadow of the stairs looks like the snake's body.
Wow.
So cool.
Did you see a picture of
I
that?
did. I looked it up because I was like, I need to look at what that looks like. You know what I mean?
insert picture here. But
Okay.
that was so long ago, and they are so much smarter than me.
I know.
It's so impressive.
And then, like, another interesting part of Chichen Itza is that they have the largest tlachtli, which is a ball court. You understand now where I'm getting at with the Road to El Dorado?
You remember that movie, right?
Yes, I have Road to El Dorado in my notes. So basically, the ball court is like a long rectangular shape with temples on the north and south side. And then there's these stone rings that are pretty high up where the rubber ball would go through. The rules to the game are like pretty unknown for the most part, but they kind of figured out some stuff just based off of like pictorial representations and stone monuments. So they said, like, at the beginning of the game, a ball would be thrown onto the court with a hand, but then after that, they can only touch the ball like with their hips and thighs. And this was where I was just going to bring up the Road to El Dorado. I did look it up. It's not like based in Chichen Itza, but it took inspiration from a few different similar cultures, and the Mayan civilization being one of them.
Okay. So I just had my nieces and nephews watch that movie.
Really?
And it was I think I know every word
Nice.
to it. And oh God, it's just such a good movie. It's so good.
It was still good when on rewatch?
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
that's good.
I still quote it too. Like one of the big quotes is the stars are not in position like to be able to do something.
Okay.
So like sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, the stars are just not in position to but anyway, I love that movie so much. Yeah, it reminded me, like I can picture that scene where but in their case they eventually switched the ball out for the armadillo to cheat at the game.
Okay, so moving on to the next wonder, we have the Roman Colosseum. This is the only one that I've been to on this list. And it's obviously located in Rome, Italy. It was built in the 1st century. It's that giant Colosseum that features a complex system of vaults and holds up to 50,000 spectators. Wow. It's famous for its gladiator fights. Okay, and this is where it gets a little crazy to me. So there are some estimates that say that 500,000 people died there because of these fights. And then this is the other crazy part. Apparently, their other most popular like show that they would do at the Colosseum were animal hunts or animal fighting and battles. So like men would kill exotic wild animals. A lot of times like spectators never even heard of these animals. Like imagine you don't have access to the internet.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, you can't even read maybe back then. I don't know. And it's just like, you see this crazy looking animal come into the Colosseum. And like, why would you be like, oh, I want to kill that then? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It probably felt like otherworldly, I guess.
True.
When you see that in person, I bet.
That's very true.
And sad that they had to kill them though.
Yeah. And so some of the animals, like basically they would use almost anything, but some of the ones that they used would be elephants, lions, panthers, crocodiles, rhinos, hippos, cheetahs, monkeys, and bears. They would get animals from all over the world. And the crazy part, though, is that some animals disappeared from their natural habitats entirely and were brought to extinction.
Because of this?
Yeah, like certain like species of the animals I mentioned literally were brought to extinction because they hunted so many of them.
That's so sad.
It's crazy.
Just for human sport, which is...
And it just goes to show we're just still doing these things in different ways now, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So I just thought that was really interesting and crazy.
I'm just going to go cry for a little bit then I'll come back. No, I'm just kidding.
Moving on to the Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal. All right.
This is located in Agra, India. It's a mausoleum complex that was utilizing Mughal architecture. And basically, Emperor Shah Jahan wanted to build this to honor his wife Mumtaz Mahal. He reigned from 1628 to 1658, and he basically built it in honor of her. She died in childbirth for their 14th child in 1631. Not funny, but it
not funny that
shock.
She died. 14? Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's beautiful that he built that in honor of her. I mean, I've only seen pictures, obviously, but like, it's
Yeah, I mean,
It's intricate and very beautiful. Yeah.
he basically made her
Eternal.
eternal. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, we're talking
Mhm.
about her today because of this,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took 22 years to build with 20,000 workers.
Wow.
It has an immense garden with a reflecting pool, that white marble exterior, and then it has semi-precious stones in geometric and floral patterns, like you were saying, very intricate. And
Mhm.
it has that, central dome, giant central dome surrounded by 4 smaller domes. This is
Wow.
one that I really want. Like, I want to go to all these places, but I want to see it because I feel like it's so big.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
just looks crazy big.
Yeah. Your mind can't comprehend
Mhm.
like that big. What a beautiful thing for a husband to do for his wife and mother of 14 children.
And moving on to our last one on the list, we have Petra, which is an ancient city in Jordan located in a remote valley. It was home to the, oh God, I looked up how to say this before, Nabateans. Nabateans.
Sounded right to me.
Thanks. It's often called the Rose City because of it being made of red rock. Also, Petra means rock in Greek.
Oh.
And why this was like an important site, it was part of a major trade route, like a luxury trade route, I think, and especially spices.
Oh, okay.
It had a population of 30,000 at its height, and it was abandoned due to a couple like major earthquakes. Sometime I was seeing like after the year 551. It's like, doesn't even feel like that should be a year.
Seriously.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can't even, fathom
And
that.
then when people, like, if you say Petra, like, typically what you're picturing is the treasury, which is Al-Khazne. And basically that's that facade with Greek-style pillars that's carved right into the rock wall. And that was built as early as the 4th century BC.
Wow. Okay. That's insane because I just looked up a picture too, and that's exactly what it pulls up every time.
Yeah.
Is like, all these pictures are the columns and all of that carved into the mountainside.
beautiful.
It's very beautiful. This is really pretty, though. I'll put a picture up.
Cool. So,
cool story,
cool.
bro.
No, I like it. So those are the new 7 wonders of the world. And again, that original 7 wonders list was created in 2nd century BCE, so very old. And how this new list came to be is that there's a man named Bernard Weber. He was born in Switzerland, eventually moved to Canada at some point, but he's the founder and president of New 7 Wonders. Okay. So in 1999, he was a filmmaker and he was just kind of thinking of ways to like use the internet and this new form of like connectedness that we had with the world. Just like he just wanted to reach that global audience and he was trying to think of like what could do that. So he started thinking about this ancient list and he thought he wanted to revive it. So in 2000, made it a Millennium Project, called it the New 7 Wonders, and he decided that he would ask the people of the world to choose and elect the new wonders.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your question?
And he just like appointed himself, like he was the deciding factor just cuz he
he was the one, he just was like, we're going to make a new list.
Make a new like where's the the audacity.
You're kind of getting ahead too because there's some controversy here. Okay. But
all right, I'll stop.
No, it's fine. You're thinking ahead and I enjoy it. I think that originally it was just kind of like, oh, like let's just do this fun thing. And he also, I think, felt passionate about the like heritage of these sites and like conservation of these sites. You know what I mean?
So like the intention was good.
Yeah, I don't think initially he had any idea that it would become as well known into like the world as it ended up being. You know what I mean?
Okay. Wait, you said it was what year that like they became officially announced as the new 7 Wonders?
Oh, okay. I haven't said that yet. So in 2000, he like started this project. He started this foundation called New 7 Wonders. And basically a lot of this I'm getting off of a letter that he personally wrote on the
Oh.
New Seven Wonders website. And so this kind of goes with what you were just said, like he just decided he was the guy to do this. And he said that they were official because we wanted to recognize the ultimate authority and legitimacy of democratic will.
Mm.
So I think he just really liked this idea of the people making the list. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
everybody having a say
Which I
in
do
the
like as
creation of the
well.
wonders. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that as well. But ultimately, was he like the final decision maker?
So I'll kind of get to that as well.
Okay. God dang it.
No,
Okay.
it's okay. So originally he received consultation from the UNESCO World Heritage Center in Paris, and they basically helped him pick the first participating 77 locations, like on his first website. Okay.
Okay.
Eventually, UNESCO was unable to continue like helping him because of limitations in their statutes. That's what he says on his website. Again, this is kind of foreshadowing. UNESCO basically just tries to separate themselves with this list as much as possible later on.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted nothing to do with this after a little bit. But he says that they helped him pick the first 77 locations. And basically, this grew from this grassroots idea that he had to having millions of voters. The public voting from the year 2000 to 2005 whittled down those 77 to 21 finalists. And then in 2006 and 2007, the New Seven Wonders tour happened. And so Bernard and his team went to all 21 of those places, which like, let's make a list too.
Yeah,
So
I'll make one up.
Let's go. We got to go visit those places. It's really important.
Whittier, Alaska is one of them.
Yeah. Let's see. So this tour really like led to an increased amount of voting and participation. And the final voting went from January 2006 and was announced on the 7th day of the 7th month of 2007.
Whoa.
Get it?
777.
Yep. 7 Wonders of the World.
Oh,
777.
Yep. Okay. I get it. I get it now. I was like, lucky. I think 7 is the most magical number, is what they say in Harry Potter. So that's what my brain went.
It ended with more than 100 million votes.
Wow.
And yeah, basically Bernard was committed to documenting and conserving heritage. After this list was announced, there was a creation of high definition 3D models of all of the wonders. So like now we got those.
Yeah.
If anything happens to, you know, one of these wonders now, there is that virtual form of them still.
I was going to say, is it virtual? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
So here's where we get to kind of the controversy.
Okay.
So the website says that they're funded entirely by licensing and commercial partnerships with companies, TV rights holders, event organizers, and through interactive revenue shares. It says they do not draw any funds from the public, government, or taxpayer subsidies. So I guess that's not really a controversy, but I did want to put that in there just so that we kind of know what their foundation says is happening versus some of the controversy that's going on. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so one thing is that Machu Picchu apparently is at risk of losing its title.
Oh.
I saw there was an article about this very recently in September of this year. So the reason why is due to like over-tourism, limited conservation policies, and social conflicts. And the New Seven Wonders officially said it's too soon to discuss what the process would be, how it would work, or if it would happen.
What's the social conflict about it?
There's some protests that were blocking the train tracks to the site, and residents protesting Peruvian government's decision like regarding online sale of tickets. I think there's just so many visitors now. I think it's just kind of gotten a little bit problematic. And this year, they're expected to exceed 1.5 million visitors, which would break the record for their highest number of visitors in a year. The previous record was 2019. I was planning on going in 2020. The director of New Seven Wonders, Jean-Paul de la Fuente, said about possibly removing Machu Picchu from the list. He said, "This is premature, especially as we believe all stakeholders can and should consider this as a wake-up call to get the House of Machu Picchu in order. We already have an official representative advisor in Peru itself who is ready to support the process toward both short-term and, more importantly, long-term solutions."
Hmm.
So they're not really like pulling the rug out from Machu Picchu yet. It's kind of more of just like a, hey, you guys, you need to start working on conservation a little bit more.
Yeah, like we recognize it's a problem and we are brainstorming or trying to figure this out to preserve it still.
My issue with them even saying that they could possibly take Machu Picchu off the list is I feel like you made this list, you announced it, that's it. Those are the final results, and you can't go back and change it, because this ancient list that you took inspiration from, they didn't go back and change it when any of their sites were destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I understand that for sure too. And also, do you think that removing it from the list would almost make it just as popular, if not maybe more? Like a controversy of being like, Machu Picchu is no longer on this list. Like, we need to go there because we need to give them money as tourists and all of that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like when Pluto, well, this is not a good comparison, but when Pluto stopped being a planet, I felt the most like,
yeah, everyone's Pluto's still a planet for me.
Yeah, it's my planet. But like, I feel like it's
still a wonder for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
That's true.
Just
that could happen. Okay, so that's Machu Picchu. Okay. And then, like I mentioned, the UNESCO World Heritage Center, basically they backed off from this project. They said they have no affiliation with this project whatsoever. They said scientific criteria must be defined, quality of candidates evaluated, and legislative and management frameworks set up. The UNESCO World Heritage, what's really important to them is the idea of conservation and just like holding on to the history and like preserving these sites. Okay. And they feel that like the 7 wonders list is just not doing enough for that. And they don't want anything to do with that. And they said that the 7 wonders list is just the result of a private undertaking, reflecting only the opinions of those with access to the internet and not the entire world.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
fair.
like UNESCO, on their website, they have locations from all over the world.
I see.
And these are obviously all over the world too, but like there's certain spots that are missing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. Like their mission kind of changed a little bit, or no?
The new 7 wonders?
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, or like UNESCO.
I don't think
like
no, UNESCO's didn't change. That's what they feel. That's what they want to do. They want to conserve. They want to preserve. They're saying the new 7 wonders didn't do that enough, so they're trying to back off from them. Their foundation.
Okay, I see. Okay.
They believe that this is only the opinions of those with access to the internet and not the entire world. And I think that that is like a really important point with this list that I agree with their criticism of. And there's a Cambodian blogger named Morn Vutha who was talking about the fact that Angkor Wat didn't win one of the spots. And they said, I thought that the voting through internet and telephone is not fair and just for least developed countries like Cambodia. Most of our Cambodian people have limit to access internet nationwide, like developing and developed countries. Angkor Wat is one of the world's largest religious structures and was one of the 21 finalists.
Oh, okay. I've just pulled it up, I think. Oh, I did not spell it right, though.
A lot of people also were criticizing the list for not having any wonders in Africa.
Oh.
And Egypt was one of like the finalists. Well, the pyramids was one of the finalists, but Egypt declined because like they're like, we're already a wonder. Like we're already one of the 7 original wonders, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Like what are you even talking about, essentially?
It's like there's no debate here. We already know. Yeah.
And then organizers, this is a big part. Organizers admitted that they had no control over the number of votes per person, because if you went on their website and you entered your email to vote, okay, that's only 1 vote, but you could also vote by call.
Mm-hmm.
You could just call as many times as you wanted. You could make more emails
Yeah.
and vote more. There was a lot of
It was problematic.
yes, thank you.
It was problematic in general, like
Yes.
the method that they used to go about this. Okay. Methods.
Yeah. And so then, you know how I mentioned when we was going through the list of the wonders, how the Christ the Redeemer statue just to me didn't feel as awe-inspiring, especially after hearing the Great Wall of China.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am not the only person to have that thought.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It would be really cool to see in person. I would love to go see it, even though I
Mhm.
find it kind of creepy. But to me, I was kind of also like, it's kind of weird that it's on this list because it was built in like the 1900s. Like all these other ones were built so much longer ago, took so much longer to build.
Like it's more recent versus like
Mhm.
historical and has this crazy legacy of a long time ago. Okay.
Mhm. And then even just like if you go online, you'll see, you know, people that did go to all the seven wonders will usually say this was their least favorite or just like the least awe-inspiring of the seven. And this is kind of spoiling, but not really. But when I get to the natural wonders of the world, there is
Mhm.
actually another wonder that's located in Rio. So the harbor at Rio de Janeiro is one of the seven natural wonders of the world.
Oh,
And the
okay.
seven natural wonders list was also made by the same foundation a few years after this one came out.
Mm-hmm.
So why? How did they get two wonders of the world? Well, basically, Brazil held a national voting campaign when this list was coming out. And they even went as far as to text all the residents in Brazil.
Whoa.
They texted them saying, press 4916 and vote for Christ. It's free. So
Wow. Okay. Good marketing or just good like distribution, I guess,
yeah.
to the people.
So 10 million Brazilians ended up voting, which is
Wow.
10% of all the votes.
Oh my God.
So like,
okay.
yeah, of course, you know, they got a
It's
spot.
skewed. It's skewed. Yeah. Potentially.
Yeah, they were not the only country to kind of put campaigns around this, but they were
Mhm.
just, you know, the most successful. And it makes sense like that they would want to be on this list because it obviously increases tourism. I
Mhm.
was trying to like get some numbers on how much it increased tourism to these places after the list came out. I saw like basically, you know, some different numbers for different places, but for Machu Picchu, for example, it increased tourism by over 70% between
Wow.
2007 to 2008.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just in that time. Wow. That's
So like
crazy.
it makes sense. Like Brazil, basically they just invested into their own future, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty much all the controversy. Final thoughts on the controversy is, I mean, I feel like as far as controversy goes, it's somewhat innocent. It's just like I said, I think he had good intentions, this Bernard. And still probably believes in those intentions fully. They have raised a lot of money for these sites and everything. And I just think he truly had no idea how big this list would end up being. Like everybody kind of has some idea of like what the wonders of the world are. You know what I mean? Or it's like
Mhm.
has heard that term, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't realize the impact of this
Mhm.
new wonders of the world would be.
Mhm.
Yeah. The intention.
I completely agree with like some of the criticism of like which sites ended up winning versus which ones lost. Like one of the ones I've seen is like the Acropolis, right? That one didn't win. Like that's I feel like a lot of times people think that's a world wonder, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know?
So like what do you think would be a good way to vote for something like that? Or is there
I
a
don't
good way
know.
maybe?
I think like UNESCO basically just decided like maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't know. But I feel like basically their idea was like you can't just leave it up to
Yeah.
the public because not everybody even has access to vote. So like
Yes.
we've done the studying, we've done the science on what makes a site awesome and wonderful, you know what I mean? And we're going to tell you what those things are. So I wanted to end it by asking you, almost end it by asking you, if you had to go to one of these wonders tomorrow, which one would you go to? Money and anything is not a problem in this fake scenario.
Okay.
You get to teleport there. You just pop, you're there.
Ugh, that'd be so great. That's always my superpower. If you ask that question, like, what would your
That's a good
superpower
one.
be?
Yeah,
Teleportation for sure. This is hard.
I know.
I want to go to them all. What
I
would you
also want to
pick?
go to them all. I think Machu Picchu. Yeah, I think Machu Picchu. I think second place for me would almost be Taj Mahal,
Oh, yep. Okay.
but I think Machu Picchu. I think that's my winner.
Yeah, I think I really like that.
Because it kind of also has a mix of like it being a man-made wonder and it's just gorgeous, like naturally
Yeah.
too, because it's in the mountains, you know?
True. I feel like just because of my connection to the road to El Dorado, Chichen Itza would be up
Nice.
there
That's a
too.
good choice. Yeah. That one would
Chichen
be
Itza?
not hard for us to get to.
Yeah, true.
So-
Yeah.
Because it's like you can do like day trips from Cancun
Oh, really?
to there.
Okay.
Mhm.
That'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, there isn't really one that I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I have no interest
Right.
in seeing them. The Great Wall
Same.
would be insane. I can't
Yeah.
even fathom that as well. It all is just like mind blowing in general.
Mhm.
But for some reason, that one with how long it is.
Yeah. You can see it from the moon.
Yeah, you can see it from the moon.
The last thing that I even just wanted to bring up was, have you ever played this game called GeoGuessr?
Is it where you go on Google Maps and you have to guess where, like, it'll place you in on a street in a random country? Is that what it is? And then you have
Yeah.
to guess?
Yeah, it literally just like the basic original version is it'll plop you literally anywhere in the world that has a Google Maps, like what do you call that when you're like the street view? Yeah,
Yeah.
street view. So you can move around
Mhm.
and then you just have to guess where it plopped you
and get like context clues based off
Yeah.
street signs or buildings
or the trees
something.
or
Yeah.
you know anything that might give you a clue.
Mhm.
I love that game so much, and
Yeah.
there's different versions of it where like you can choose like a specific map. So you can choose one like based on the country so that it's like a little bit more, you know, specific.
Yeah.
You can also choose, there's one that's like just famous places. And so I don't know, I just kind of was thinking about it when I was doing this episode because I really like playing that version. It's fun to me because even though they're a famous place, a lot of times where it puts you is like a place I've never even seen or heard of before, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I play it, I will just act like a detective and
Ooh.
roam around the area, look at any little sign that I can, and start like Googling stuff to try to figure out where I am. If it's like someplace that I'm like, where the hell am I? I feel like I'm in the
Yeah.
middle of the desert in whatever country. I don't know what this is. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's just so
yeah.
fun. And so I don't know, it just reminded me of this. And if you are interested in that, definitely go look it up.
Yeah.
GeoGuessr.
That's really cool. It's also just insane to me that Google Maps has all these places.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that even like, you know, in 20 years ago? Maybe not
Yeah.
20 years ago, but
Well, yeah, even 20 years ago, I think. You know,
yeah.
that would have been 2005. That's before this list came out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. But I just like, I don't know. Sometimes it just like blows my mind how
Totally.
far we've come in a short amount of time, but
Totally.
also how far we have to go at the same time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's crazy.
It's pretty amazing. And definitely with all of these, you can look them up on there. And I think they have even more detailed maps for a lot of these wonders, you know what I mean, than
Mm-hmm.
some other places are just like, you know, really famous places. So it's cool. We live in a time where even though you might not be able to travel to these places for whatever reason, you still kind of can.
You still have access to like
Mhm.
be able to not be there, but also kind of be there.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I feel like I've kind of gone to Machu Picchu already because I did so
Yeah.
much research before. But yeah.
So you're going to be a tour guide when we go.
Yeah, that would be so annoying.
I know. That does look really cool, though. I would love to do Machu Picchu. Gosh, yeah. So you have only seen, not only, but you've seen the
Mhm.
Colosseum. That's the one
Mhm.
that you've seen out of all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was like 13 years old, and unfortunately, it was like 108 degrees outside that day. So my memory is mostly me being like, I am so fucking hot right now. You know, it's like when you're 13, you're so annoying. I should have just been like, wow, I can't believe that I'm here right now.
Yeah.
Think about all this history, but I was like, I'm so hot. Like I did on one hand think like, wow, this is really cool, but on the other hand, yeah, I was mostly
you don't
concerned about that.
appreciate it as much, probably. Maybe.
Right. I would definitely
you
appreciate
try
it
to.
more now. Even if it was
Yes.
108 degrees, I would be like, wow, look at this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring
exactly.
my fan with me or what. I
Fan
don't know.
and spray bottle.
Mhm.
A mister. I hate being hot, so I'd probably have the same memory of it if I were there with you.
It's just so fucking hot.
I love it though. I didn't know any of that really, to be honest.
Oh,
I
cool.
didn't even know there were new ones, actually.
Mm-hmm. And now you got some stuff to look forward to.
Yeah. Travel plans. No, I can't.
I just
wish.
mean with my episodes.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's true too. Yeah. To learn more about the others. I like it.
Mhm.
The natural ones will be really interesting. I'm
Mhm.
curious about those. I mean, they all will, but yeah. Okay.
That's my episode. We made it through.
Well, that was fun. It really was, though. I really, really liked that episode. I did not think it would be like, did not have any clue that it would be something like this. I thought you were going to focus on like one area until you said around the world. And I was like, well, that could be so many things. And yeah, no clue. Learned a lot. So I
Good.
really, really liked it. It was a really good one.
Good.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for coming along on that deep dive. I hope you learned something, and subscribe, please. We still have the goal of having 500 followers on some platform. No, we don't care which one, just one of them. And then we will release a cringe video of us from our childhood that we made because we like to make videos. And we can be found on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and wherever you get your podcasts. Oh, and YouTube as well. Check us out there if you want to see the video version. And we would really appreciate a subscribe if you can, please.
And we've been seeing all your comments, and we love them and appreciate them. Leave us a review and give us a rating.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you listening in general, though. So thank you.
This has been a tough episode to get through, but we're done. It's 9:17 p.m. We're ready for bed.
Yes. Until then, embrace the spiral, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Aaron and Danny, two lifelong best friends, take turns picking topics, then they see where it ends. So wild, it's weird.